In today's video we are taking a look at WeKnife Peer. It's been a while since I did a video review of a WeKnife, and that is simply because I haven't bought any WeKnives for some time. There are a few models out there that I am still interested in. There are a few upcoming models that I'm also interested in. I think I might even make an order today for something that I've been looking forward to for like the past 6 months, and that was recently restocked. This knife here was also recently restocked by Lamnia, like maybe 2 weeks ago. And the thing with the WeKnife Peer is that it's offered in a pretty wide variety of handle scales and blade finishes, etc. Not unusual for a WeKnife, now that I think about it, but this time I really wanted a very specific version here of this model, and that version reads like this, if we can get it in focus. So, black titanium handle with black hand-rubbed copper overlays, black stonewashed CPM 20 CV blade. This is the one version that I've been longing to get, but you can get this one in actually a pretty wide variety of nice configurations, like different kinds of carbon fiber with black blades or with regular stonewash blades. You can pick it up in either copper or brass overlays. It's also offered in Blaze Orange G10 scales as well, or overlays, with both black coated blades or black wash blades and regular stonewash blades. So this is a knife in some pretty, well, I hate to use the word cool, but some pretty stylish handle configurations. But this is the one that spoke the absolute most to me. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to pick this blade up, or this specific folder, is because of my previous experience with the designer, which is Ostap Hell. He's made some designs for real steel. He has made some previous designs for WeKnife as well. But I really liked my G5 Metamorph, and this blade does share a few similarities to that one. But let's open the box up here and see what we have in store. So as always, we get a standard nylon pouch, which is actually quite nice. I use this pouch for several of my other folders, regardless of maker and brand, because I think it's highly functional, and it can fit 2 knives in well, it can fit all of my knives, even my largest ones. So it is a nice pouch at that. So inside the contents here we have some, I believe, some stickers. Or is this stickers? Love your new knife? Question mark. Well, I sure hope I will love this one. 2 of these, I bet they are stickers. We get some paperwork, probably some warranty. Let's see, WeKnife Company, introductions and instructions before use. That's a lot of instructions before I can use this knife. I think I might skip that. Then we have some maintenance and warranty, not too interesting to me. We also have this piece of cloth here, which is also standard, has been since the first folder made of WeKnife, pretty much, or the first one I got at least. Not a bad piece of cloth, it is functional, nice material. Yeah, I bet you have all seen it before, or at least most of you people watching this video. And then we have some more contents here, or the final content, which is of course the folder itself. So let's take it out here of the pouch and maybe zoom in a bit. So we had some slight issues with with the focus, but it should be fixed now. So this is what the knife looks like in its, of course, closed position. So we can see the black titanium here, some brass hardware, and then the copper overlays. Kind of dark here. In better light conditions or in direct sunlight, the copper really shines almost like burning coal of sorts, which is a really nice effect. Kind of difficult to transfer right now from this setting. I might head out later on and try to find more decent light conditions to show it off in. But this is the best that I can do right now. So let's take a closer look here at, we can try to do some close-up shots here as well. The V logo, perfectly centered. Well, this knife is obviously a flipper because we see the flipper tab here with some light jimping on top here. Not super aggressive, but definitely enough to get a good grip with your finger. Here we have the brass hardware. On the back side here we have the pocket clip with some really good retention to it out of the box. Not too tight, but definitely not loose in any way at all. We also got some milling work there. And as can be seen here, this is obviously a frame lock, but we're gonna look more into that once we flick the knife open. We can take a look at the blade centering, of course. The blade is perfectly centered, as can be seen here. Really, different looking design, and different, I say that, in a good way, because I just like, how this one looks. But I also feel like, it's kind of a heavy knife. I've got to say, and that is, of course, due to the handle. So this one is going to be back heavy, for sure. We're going to take a look at the balance points here in a short bit. And I'm going to place the knife here for a second. So let's open it up, shall we? Super snappy opening action. See how well it shuts. So it's not dropping shut. It's not really hydraulic, but it's not too bad either, And this is, of course, right out of the box. I haven't broken it in or anything. This is factory, 100%. So let's take a look at some of the specs here. Starting, of course, with the blade steel. The blade steel used for this one is CPM 20CV, and that is my favorite steel. And then people will say, but you always say that your favorite steel is M390. Well, it is M390. But the steel properties of CPM 20CV, CTS 204P and M390 are pretty much identical. So now you know that. And the steel here is, of course, super corrosion resistant. It got some super edge retention, but it may not be the absolute toughest of blades. This one being, black wash, makes it even more less prone to rusting should you ever manage to get a CPM 20CV blade to rust. It is of course not impossible, but if you take somewhat care of your knives, you should never have an issue with rust with this particular blade steel. Anyways, I was speaking about the weight, so I think that's a good thing to start with as well. This knife weighs 76 grams. I mean, it may not be, a whole lot, but it's definitely, you can definitely feel, some weight to it. I've got to say that, and all of the weight pretty much is on the back, but I'm gonna say that the balance point will probably be around, yeah, exactly around here. So you can see this is a very back heavy folder. And I have my finger pretty much with near the pocket clip here, so see, yeah, like that. Does this, affect the knife in use or how it feels in the hand? No, it really doesn't, It is, given the design as well, it's not a concern of mine. But would I have wanted the knife to be slightly lighter, perhaps? I mean, even not, just from a balance point perspective. Yeah, perhaps I would. But, I like the aesthetics of this knife, and, this is, if you're gonna go with titanium scales like this and with copper overlays, and in this, in this thickness of the overlays and the handle, then I guess this is the type of weight we get. That being said, I can see that there is no there's no internal, milling in any way here, and some milling could have reduced the weight, but then again, I mean, there's not a whole lot of let's see, thickness to do the milling. The titanium here isn't super thick, and the overlays, I mean, you can't do milling into the actual copper overlays. So, I mean, it is kind of, what it is. So looking at continue looking at the specs here. We've got a total length here of 201 millimeters with a blade length of 87 millimeters. We got a close length here of 113 millimeters. So that being said, this knife is, I would say it's a medium-sized knife if I put it into perspective with, with my current folder lineup. It's definitely not a small knife, but it's also not a really large knife, so it's somewhere in between. The blade thickness, let's take a look at that. It might be tricky here because, the blade thickness is 3 millimeters, so it's not a super thick edge, but it's also not easy to see because we do have this full swedge grind here that makes it hard to actually see the thickness. The full 3 millimeter thickness can only be seen here in the, like a 25% down here. You can see the line here where there's actually, yeah, where you get the full thickness. I think my camera might be giving up a little bit here. I can see the screen is darkening down and it sometimes gets a bit overheated, so might have to rush it now. But that being said, no blade play. Opening action is super snappy. Closing action, we already discussed it. It's not dropping shot, or it's not really hydraulic, but it is, out of the box, it is okay, and I can almost feel it improve when I'm sitting here opening and closing it the way I am right now. And like I said, the blade is light. With a heavier blade, it would be easier to make it, fall shut, but with a light blade, it does require a bit more of a push here, right now at least. So I think we've gone over most of the specs and the details, so I guess it's time to actually do some sharpness tests, perhaps. I think that's what we're gonna do next. Let's do some paper slicing. I have some magazine paper, as I always have, newspaper, paper, and regular printing paper. So that's what we're gonna work with. Do we have to zoom out? Or can we use it like this? Let's use it just like this here. So this is the factory edge, factory sharpness. I expect this one to be quite slicey, so yeah. So, made quick work of that printing paper, right? And this printing paper can sometimes be a bit difficult for some knives. So that was actually not that bad, yeah. So printing paper absolutely passed the test. Let's go for some magazine paper next. Just gonna clean away this little mess here. So, what do we say? Magazine paper, right? Let's go with this. Very nice sharpness here. I'm doing some, you know, wavy, rounded patterns, etc. This is very impressive stuff. Yeah, quick work. Now to the final and always most interesting part, which is newspaper. So I'm gonna go with another piece here. Let's go with this one. This is actually pretty impressive. So it definitely passes the magazine paper test as well. It's just, you know, shredded it, sort of. On a sharpness scale, I would say that this is, you know, among the sharper folders that I have gotten, you know, from the factory, like this. So definitely in the sharpness top. Probably one of my sharper knives from WE Knives too. Some knives I've gotten from WE Knife that were incredibly sharp, like this one, but I've also had some that were not, you know, quite as sharp, but that were still, you know, easily touched up by myself. Very sharp, very pointy at that. So slicey and stabby. If that is what you're looking for, this could be the knife for you.